This is Joyce,
This is Clive.
and this was 80 years ago.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt was President of the United States, and our country was plunged into a deep depression.
Period, many things have happened. And I am glad to say that the major part of them have greatly helped the well-being of the average citizen.
Fiorello LaGuardia, the Little Flower, won his election to mayor of New York City. He was to serve 3 times as a so-called reform mayor.
Democratic Party. This is a fight against a cruel, vicious.
And then there was Eleanor, who had her own high-pitched agenda and a voice to match.
Because it's going to help their neighbors, I think we'll win out. We'll win out not because of a government, not even because of our leaders, but because as a people we've had a vision, and we've worked for it, and we've seen it through.
In Germany, rumblings of the terror
Nazis
ahead.
parade through the streets of every large city and town throughout Germany. Here in Berlin is one of the most amazing pageants ever seen.
But life wasn't gloomy. The jigsaw puzzle was a public craze.
Now it's Jigsaw, and it's got the whole country steamed up while other plants are lying idle. Jigsaw factories are running at full speed night and day to keep up with the demand. Overnight, it's become a major industry, and if you think there isn't a demand, no bargain counter in the store is more popular. It's one department where they don't have to worry about sales. The clerks have all they can do to keep up. They pass them out with both hands. Papa and Mama and the whole family make a grab to pick out the best puzzles. It's something the kids get a lot of kick out of. Here's something hard to believe. Walking along Broadway? Well, maybe they didn't have quite time enough to finish at the office. My goodness, lady, can't you watch out?
And on the 27th day of June, 1933, Clive Martin Ussiskin entered the world. Clive's world at that time was confined to family, particularly older brother Mark, with whom he fought for the paper. Neither one could read. Clive's mother, the former Josephine Lewis, who was graduated from law school before becoming a wife and mother. Clive's father, Isidore Ussiskin, born in London, grew up there and arrived in this country to attend Cornell University and to open a commodity trading firm with seats on the New York Commodity Exchange and on the Chicago Board of Trade. During World War II, he served as a lieutenant commander in the U.S. Navy. Clive was close to his grandparents, Saul Lewis and Sarah Moses Lewis, both raised in England, but married in New York City in 1897. And his paternal grandparents, Kate and Samuel Ussiskin, also British, who were married in London around 1900. Both grandfathers were originals. His maternal grandfather, Solomon, became John S. Lewis, and as a proper Brit, was enraged by the Boers and joined the British forces in southern Rhodesia. There, in a pub, he met a fellow Englishman, a war correspondent named Winston Churchill, and they became friends, even corresponding for a bit after the war. John went on to found a printing business and to publish a magazine for the travel industry. Meanwhile, Clive's English grandfather, a furrier, liked to ski and to travel. They crossed the pond, the Atlantic Ocean, to attend the wedding of their oldest son, Isidore, to Josephine Lewis in July 1929. They brought Clive's great-grandfather with them from England. Here he is, Hyam Mendel, for whom Clive Martin was named. Note all grandchildren of Joyce and Clive. This is a motion picture of your great-great-great-grandfather.
But wait, are they drinking? The 18th Amendment forbade it. Houses of religious worship were accepted so that sacraments could be observed. Weddings and shuls were quite popular. But then came the biggest news of 1933, the repeal of the 18th Amendment, the only amendment ever to be repealed. And on December 5th, 1933, the final state, Utah, ratified the 21st Amendment, and at 8:15 that night, President Roosevelt signed the proclamation hailing the end of Prohibition.
At precisely 8:15 on December 5th, 1933, Joyce Madeline Shimkin came into the world. Her birth date was a holiday in some southern states, Repeal Day. Here is Joyce shown with her parents in Prospect Park. Joyce's mother, the former Molly Farkas, was a school teacher. Her father, Nathan Shimkin, was a lawyer. Joyce's paternal grandparents, Michael Shimkin and Fanny Nicholsberg, were married in New York City in 1890. Her maternal grandparents, Samuel Farkas and Dora Brewer Farkas, were shown here on Molly's graduation day.
And then Clive visited his grandparents in London, showing an early love of animals and a lifelong interest in gardening. But Grandma and Grandpa were anxious to show him off at synagogue before he boarded the big ship home.
The best of times is now. What's left of summer but a faded rose. The best of times is now. As for tomorrow, well, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So hold this moment fast and live and love as hard as you know how, and make this moment last.
And then Clive met Joyce in December 1953. They were engaged in December 1954 and married on June 12, 1955.
And the family grew and grew.
What's left of summer